My girlfriend asked for an open relationship out of nowhere, and now she's regretting it big time. I, 27M, had been together with my girlfriend, 27F, for 3 years. It was a stable relationship with no red flags from my point of view. Last Saturday, she asked for an open relationship. Her reasoning was that we did not get to enjoy ourselves in the past, and this could help us strengthen the intimacy and love. I rejected it, and she seemed unhappy after that. I'm not going to lie, an open relationship suggestion out of nowhere is a huge red flag for me. It probably means there is someone else she already has in mind. I've been cheated on in the past and made it very clear that I want a monogamous relationship before being exclusive. Her suggestion messed with my head for a few days. I want to break up with her. I do love her, but she opened Pandora's box, and I'm not sure if I can trust her anymore. In that state, the relationship will not be healthy for either of us. Would I be the a-hole if I leave the relationship without trying to salvage it? I tried saving my old relationship when there were trust issues, and it did not work. I just do not want to harm my psychology. I'm struggling because I love her, and it's a 3-year-old relationship. Here's a question that was asked in the comments. Has she been complaining about the lack of intimacy? No. I asked if it's related to that, but she said no, it's not about quality either. We both live with our families and still have intimacy 3 to 4 times a week after meeting up. There is no consensus yet on, am I the a-hole? But the top comments were, not the a-hole. Update post, February 15, 2024. I made a post 2 days ago about my relationship situation on the subreddit. I want to thank everyone. I took my time reading most of the comments, and there were some really useful pieces of advice. Here's the original post. I talked to her yesterday and broke up with her. I told her I thought about her proposal and wanted to ask her a question. I basically asked why she proposed an open relationship out of nowhere. She said she heard it from friends of hers and would like to try it to strengthen our relationship. I asked her if she had someone in mind already. She said no. I thanked her for her answers but stated I wanted a strictly monogamous relationship. I also told her how my trust in the relationship was shaken after her proposal, and I wanted to break up with her. I wished her the best and prepared to leave the table. She got angry, a bit too angry at me. She called me insecure and called me every name possible in the book. I left the table quickly after hearing those things and went back home. She started calling me, texting me in an angry tone, and I just had to block her. We both live with our families, so the breakup was quickly done. No need to take belongings from a shared home or anything. There was no problem until today. A friend told me she saw her with a male coworker the same night and asked me if I knew. I told her we broke up yesterday, so yes, she definitely had someone in mind. It does not hurt as much as I thought it would. Maybe it's because I was ready for such a thing. Maybe my mentality changed after the last time I got cheated on. My mindset is all about moving on and not worrying about things I cannot control anymore. Had she been cheating during the relationship or not? I do not care to know. All I can do now is move on and live my best life. I have a trip to South Korea this month, and I want to enjoy it. Thanks for all the advice, Reddit. Take care. Looks like someone left Pandora's box open, and now all the demons are out to play. I mean, proposing an open relationship out of the blue? That's like suggesting a vegan diet to a lion. It's just not going to fly. And then getting angry when the other person decides they're not up for it? Talk about adding insult to injury. But hey, at least now you can see clearly through the fog of love. She wanted to open the relationship. You wanted to close the door on her. Sounds like a classic case of irreconcilable differences. And let's not forget the cherry on top, catching her red-handed with a coworker on the rebound. But you know what they say, once bitten, twice shy. You've been through this rodeo before, and now you're ready to ride off into the sunset, solo style. So last year, a young couple decides they want to try jiu-jitsu, and they have to go through Chance's basics class. They instantly fall in love with it. Jana, 26F, and Tanner, 28M, are there for the basics class 3 to 4 times a week. They've even decided to start taking private lessons from Chance on the weekends. Within 3 months, Jana and Tanner split, but they're still showing up to classes and taking privates, just separately now. Come to find out, Jana started throwing the FME eyes at Chance at every opportunity. And Chance, being the man whore he is, couldn't resist. Needless to say, that was kept very hush-hush over the last few months. About a week ago, Chance tells me he had to call the cops on Jana because he was trying to distance himself from her, and she had subsequently broken into his house and started breaking stuff. So naturally, he called the cops to have the incident documented, but decided not to press charges. Meanwhile, I'm over here with my bag of popcorn, just watching this dumpster fire take place. Jana tells Tanner the truth, that she had been cheating on him with Chance for a couple of months before the breakup. Jana is getting crazy jealous now and starts stalking Chance, among other things. I'm totally here for it. Being happily married, I don't get to indulge in this kind of BS very often, and not at arm's length like this. I get home after Chance tells me about having to call the cops on Jana and just had to tell my wife. As I get into the details, I notice she gets a somber look on her face. Normally, she's all about these drama stories I bring home from work or from jiu-jitsu. But this was different. I didn't even get halfway through my story before she cuts me off, says she has a headache, and goes to lie down. At first, I didn't think anything of it, but this was so out of the blue for her. She loves hearing gossip. I go to check on her in our room after I get out of the shower, and she's crying. That's when the red flags start flying out like streamers. So, to prevent a long story from being even longer, Chance was also *ing my wife **. My wife was falling in love with him. And for some reason, Chance shows up to jiu-jitsu class with a black eye and in an Uber, because oddly, all 4 tires on his truck went flat at the same time. Ah, Chance, the black belt Casanova, spreading his charm like he spreads his legs for anyone with a pulse. And then there's Jana, the starry-eyed student who's more interested in getting a piece of Chance than mastering the armbar. Classic. Turns out Chance isn't just rolling on the mats, he's rolling in the hay with your wife, too. Talk about a double-leg takedown straight to the heart. Here's the UOP, the unwitting referee in this caged match of emotions. May your punches be as sharp as your wit, and may your jiu-jitsu moves be as slick as your friend's excuse for why he's always late to practice. Do you have a similar story? Share it with us in the comments below. Lastly, a divorce that never truly severed the ties that bind. Wife turned side chick. I hope this is the correct space for my experience. However, I'm filled with so much hurt and pain, and this seems like the best place to share what I'm dealing with right now. I'm a 36F, and I made the decision 2 years ago to divorce my ex-husband due to inconsistencies in our marriage, especially when it came to progressing our lives forward financially. He, quite frankly, never wanted more for us. He'd quit jobs all the time and leave all the bills to me at any given point in the marriage. Of course, there's more, but that was a main concern of mine at the time. None of the issues ever included infidelity, throughout our 10-year marriage and 13 years of knowing one another. Our chemistry had never dwindled. We were both very much in love, I'd say, up until the last month or so I thought. We decided to stay close friends, or in a situationship. I hear that term used loosely. Basically, it's almost as if the marriage never ended, we just don't officially live together. Although, we've tried again countless times over the years. Which brings me to 2 weeks ago. He was here after a recent job loss. I told him, yet again, he was more than welcome to stay here with me. I could feel he was worried about losing his job this time more than he ever was in the past, because I wasn't that safety net anymore. You know, the wife to pick up all the pieces. That day, I walked over to console him. A simple hug and a peck on the cheek before I left for work, while he was sitting at my computer desk. I leaned in for the kiss. His phone rings on silent. An unfamiliar woman's name popped up. He quickly grabs my face with both hands and plants a big kiss on my lips instead, telling me, "I love you so much." As my eyes are diverted down to the screen of his phone, He uses his arms to try to conceal what I'm seeing, but it's too late. In that moment, my heart stops, before it drops out of my chest and into my gut. I'm panicked. But I try to calmly leave the room. I didn't want him to see the emotions on my face, so I play his game. I say, "Wow, thanks for the kiss," and I walk into the bathroom with the lights off, heartbroken, because this isn't the first time she's called. I immediately remember. I saw him hurry to flip the phone over when I walked into my bedroom the previous week, when it rang on silent. But this time, I had proof, because I saw her name. I finally go on to work, and I cried my heart out. He randomly texts me, "Are you okay?" So now he's trying to gauge my temperament so he can plan his next moves, I assume. Hours later, after I'd calmed down, I texted him to just leave my key at my place and leave. And not return. He called me over 30 times before I answered. I told him I wasn't stupid, and let's not pretend like I am. We aren't even officially anything, so just go be with her, and leave me and my son alone. Then it hit me. He's been talking to her at my place, while my son has been in the next room. And I've been at work. Wow. Things begin to start adding up for me. Like him starting random arguments with me in the mornings, and petty fights around noon just to take off without any explanation. Then coming back late that evening, apologetic. When he didn't even have to come back to my place at all. Was he going to be with her? His sudden interest in pay-per-view fights, that in a 10-year marriage, I've never heard him speak about liking. He'd leave at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9:00 p.m., come back to my place at 1 o'clock or 2 a.m. from watching. Was he really going to be with her? Also, when he's not at my place, his inability to text consistently. Or him, in my place, behind my back, texting in bed late at night. Was he with her? Or texting with her? Ever since I asked him to leave, I just cannot deal with this pain. How long had he been lying to me? Seeing this other person, or people, lying to us? In retrospect, I guess he doesn't owe me any explanation, because we are divorced. However, we don't act like we are. We still move and behave as a unit. He just fixed my car 3 weeks ago. Helps me with the bills. Took me to my doctor's appointments, regularly, even sat in the actual appointment room with me, asking my doctor's questions, picking up my medication from the pharmacy. He speaks on us one day still having a child between the two of us. How could someone who I was married to want me to now play the side chick role? I feel devastated. I've never been cheated on prior to this, to my knowledge. But this year feels exactly how it would feel if I did. I only asked for transparency from him. He could have told me he was seeing other people, and that would have been perfectly fine by me, because then it would have allowed me to 1. Not let him occupy my time and space, with me and my son. 2. Not get too attached to him, and not turn down guys that I passed up on post-divorce. 3. Not continue to hope for another chance at our future, rather than being in a relationship or marriage again down the line, especially with talks of wanting to have a child with me, which I would always dismiss. I haven't slept since I found out. I can barely work. What is food? I don't know the word. I hate this, because I'm such a loving person. And I mean I love hard. So why me? I apologize for the book. But now here I stand. My family and friends told me not to blame myself, but I do. They said I'm diminishing the situation because there was no official title anymore between us. However, they told me it doesn't matter. A romantic relationship to our capacity was a relationship, title or not. And to betray my trust, and possibly my sexual health as well, is very much cheating. The lies, the deceit, the betrayal, and leading me on to believe we were something that we weren't, to his benefit. It's cheating, for lack of a better word. Reading stories here from others makes me recognize that I'm not alone. God, I wish I could just take a temporary amnesia vitamin or something, to forget he ever existed. Thanks for reading. Now I have a question for the community. Why get divorced if you're going to continue pretending to be a married couple? This is an unhealthy and dishonest way to live. Just deal with him concerning co-parenting, and go grab a title for yourself. OP replies. I waited all day to come back and see if there were any responses to the heartache I'm currently experiencing. Because I knew Reddit could be harsh, even cruel sometimes, in a you need a reality check, blunt, no filter style kind of way. I also didn't expect much sympathy under a thread titled Surviving Infidelity, either, since now I'm the one on the stand for questioning. The answer is simple, just love. No pretending. I just loved him. And we were hoping to possibly reconcile our relationship, or marriage, along the way. I did not recognize that was unhealthy or dishonest. But you're absolutely correct. He's clearly moved on with someone new, probably beautiful and amazing. Now, I'll go grab me a life of my own as well, like you stated. Thanks for reading, and I appreciate your response. And now, let's break it down. We've got ourselves a classic case of divorce, but not really. First off, let's give a round of applause to your ex-husband for his Oscar-worthy performance in the role of I'm totally committed to you, but also totally committed to someone else. Bravo, buddy. Bravo. And let's not forget your stellar performance in the role of I'll just ignore all the red flags and keep on loving you. Hey, we've all been there, right? Nothing like a good old-fashioned case of denial to keep the heartbreak at bay. But fear not, dear OP. For you are not alone in this cesspool of betrayal and broken promises. You've got Reddit at your side, ready to offer a reality check wrapped in a no-filter package. Because sometimes, tough love is the only kind of love that can break through the fog of denial and get you back on track. What do you think of this? And thank you for joining us today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell before you leave. Don't miss out on our next episode of What in the Toxic Love Triangle Is This? Until next time.